Alrighty, so today's breathing, we are taking into our solar plexus, this area of creativity. So we're just taking deep, slow inhales and exhales, but we're just focusing our awareness into this area. And by doing that, you're imagining that you're breathing the air in and out of the solar plexus, which is basically just re-energizing this space. And then I want to take the awareness and the focus of today's class into a space of creativity. And creativity doesn't have to be wild, eccentric, spectacular stuff, because in essence, you are already creative with who you are. You expressing yourself is creativity. But we're just taking more energy into the area, and hopefully you just find yourself expressing yourself a little bit more in class. Obviously you're at home, so you can express yourself all wild-like behind the camera. Alright, so we sit in easy seat. Your hands can be on your knees or rested in your lap. We're going to start off with slow, deep inhalations through the nose and slow exhalations through the mouth, focusing our awareness on the solar plexus. This area just between your rib cage, sort of where your stomach lives. And at your own pace, off we go. Take your left hand and place it on your solar plexus and continue breathing. Take your right hand and place it on top of the left and continue breathing.
You ask your allergies why there's such a bother. You feel them all the beauty singing.
imagining a yellow light coming in with each inhalation and swirling down into your solar plexus area.
It's okay to let them know they made you underwater. Either way, I'm in love with your red roses. It's okay to look the truth even if you doubt it. It's okay to look alone every once in a while. It's okay to be alone with the truth for a while. The truth is I'm in love with your red roses.
Gently allow your hands to return back onto your knees or in your lap, and let your breathing return to its usual steady pace.
Gotta say I'm mighty proud of what you're turning into. Didn't take the easy route even if you meant to. Whether or not we're fate or coincidental, I'll always be in
Just breathing normally.
You'll ask your allergies why they're such a bother. You'll feel the melody, sing it if you wanna. You'll keep scratching your eyes and they'll keep itching. And I'll always be in love with you. I'll always be in love with you.
And we're gently going to turn onto our knees,
I'll always be in love.
facing sideways on our mat so that we're in line with our mat as opposed to facing outwards. Open your knees as wide as you can, keeping your feet together. And our first stretch, remember to keep your hips tucked under, belly lifted. We're going to start with our right hand reaching forward, so our chest feels like it's reaching towards the floor. But then we're going to place our left hand on the floor and push our chest to face leftways. If that makes sense. And try and relax into the stretch. You should be feeling it nicely down the sides of the shoulders and the arm. Keep your tummy lifted. Try and allow yourself to go deeper into the stretch. Come up and swap sides. So now our left arm reaches forward, right hand is on the floor to help turn our chest to face right ways. Remember to keep that steady breath going in and out. Let the right hand reach forward, going up, both hands onto tippy fingers, keeping the hips tucked under and the belly lifted. You're dropping your chest towards the floor. This, you should feel a stretch going across your shoulders. Lift your body up, take your right hand and needle it through your other arm, trying to pull your shoulder further forward as you twist in the same direction as your right hand. Keeping the left hand long and on its tippy fingers. Keep your tummy lifted, your hips tucked under. You may need to lift your shoulder up slightly as we now needle our left hand through towards the right side. So we've created a crisscross in front of us, and try and lean your chest down, stretching out your shoulders. Leave your left hand where it is, unwind the right and take it back up ahead of you on its tippy fingers, and then roll that shoulder further through. Lift up slightly so that you can now take your left hand and crisscross it back, but now it should be in a different position from the first time you did this crisscross. So we've just swapped the arms positioning, and lean down and stretch out the arms. And slowly curl up using your tummy muscles. Next, we're placing our hands down in front of us, just a little way away from our knees. Get ready to integrate these shoulders into their sockets, and we lift in the armpits. And right now, all we're going to do is feel like we're pushing down into the earth. Our hips are tucking under and our sternum's pulling backwards. So the arms are just pushing away. But we're not lifting anything off the floor just yet. But you should feel your tummy working, your sternum lifting. It's like you're trying to push yourself into a bulimekisi. And release. And push. And release. And push. And release. Now we're just going to lean forward, so our bum's coming off our feet. We're leaning into the arms, making sure that these arms are lifting in the armpits. We're not slacking as we lean over. The arms are pushing down into the earth as we lean over. You can see my wrists are not at a 90 degree, but more of like a 45 degree. And we're pushing down, and then drop down onto your feet again. Should be feeling a lift in the belly, so your belly is pulling backwards, your sternum is lifting, the armpits are lifting as you're pushing down. And let's go for our second round. Push our hands down into the ground, lift the belly and lift off our feet, leaning into the arms. And bring your bum back down to your feet. You also want to pay attention to the soft part of your elbow. It should be trying to face forward as opposed to inwards, twisting it around. And up we come again. Really suck the tummy. These hips must tuck under and push down into the arms. And back down onto your bum. We're going to add a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm just going to show you first. You can take a moment just to observe. So we're going to come up like we've just done, come back down, come back up, push through the feet. So now we're getting more work happening in the arms. Come back down, and we're just repeating that. So first we're just pushing over the hands, second one pushing up off the feet, then we come back down, push over the hands, back down, push over the feet. Okay, so let's start off. You know this one, we've done this one. Push your hands into the floor, lift under the armpits, lift your bum off your feet and lean over into your hands. Drop your bum to your feet, and this time we come over the hands and push down in the feet, lifting in the tummy. Drop down and drop your bum onto your feet. Up we come, up and over the wrists, lifting in the belly, lifting in the armpits, lifting in the sternum, bum to feet, and this time we go over and push down in your feet. Come back down onto your bum. Up and over your wrists, onto your bum, up and over onto your wrists and push down with your feet. Down onto your knees, your bum onto your feet. Oh, there we go. Now tuck your toes under. We're going to stretch our feet out a little bit. Remember that if it's quite intense for you, you just keep coming more forward until you find a space that's a comfortable stretch. And then you keep leaning backwards as you get more comfortable. You feel the stretch going up the toesies, up the sort of arches, middle of the feet. Remember, even in this position, to still be lifting in the belly, tucking in the hips, lifting in the armpits. So you can see there I dropped down, but the point is not to be sitting with your shoulders up to your ears, keeping it lifted so your neck feels lovely and free. And we can come over onto our bum. Let's have our left leg straight, I think that'll work. Left leg straight in front of us. Right leg, we bring our foot over to the other side, or the outer side of our left leg, and we're going to do a twist. So make sure you're sucking your belly up towards your spine, tucking the hips under. You're trying to make yourself feel super, super skinny. So you're like, the more you'll be able to twist, but the easier you'll be able to twist. Use your left hand to help turn you initially, and then we're going to take our arm up to twist even more. So take your right hand behind you, placing it comfy like you're at the beach. Suck in, pull on your left, pull with your left hand and start to twist. Once you've started that twist, take the left hand up, feel it being pulled up to the ceiling, and then twist around even more, trying to get that arm over your knee. I'm still continuing to push my knee with my upper arm. There we go. Remember to keep breathing. And remember to watch these shoulders. They shouldn't be sitting up at your ears, but pushing down. Gently, we come back to face forward. Bring that foot back on the inside of the knee, but pull your knee as close as you can towards your bum. From here, we're going to reach forward to grab our big toe, or you can grab all of your toes, but we're going to first try and, almost like we're trying to get past this leg. So you don't want it to pop out sideways as you're coming past. This is sort of a pillar, it's not going anywhere. You're coming past that pillar, bringing your body around, and then you're reaching for your toes. Keep sucking that belly back and tucking your hips under. Remember to think about your sternum being pulled towards your ankle as opposed to thinking about your head dropping down. Try and take yourself a little bit deeper. And gently release. Let's take our right leg into our cradle position. So your knee has already been pulled up nicely towards your chest. Now we start pulling the right foot towards the left shoulder, and we get our foot into the crook of our arm and cradle it like a baby. Keep sucking your belly back, tucking your hips under. It helps, especially if you feel a little bit tight or uncomfortable in this position. This is a nice little bum and hip opener. Gently unhand that foot, and now we're bringing our foot and our knee back in alignment, but we want to take our knee sort of behind our shoulder. That sounds complicated, but we're basically going to bring the right hand on the inside of the leg. You can wrap your arm around it so that your hand ends up on the outside of that foot, and we're keeping this knee very close to our shoulder as we pull it backwards. We're trying to get our shoulder onto our knee onto our shoulder, basically. And it's not the end of the world if you don't. This is just an attempting. And with that, we're leaning forward. This gets a nice deep QL stretch. So if you are struggling, don't get the QL as nicely. You can try and drop your knee out to the sideways, but keeping it held up as you lean forward. It's still a little bit into the QL, but try and get it on your shoulder. The QL is one of our stabilizing muscles, and it's often the first one to go into sort of spasm and tightness when we're sitting a lot, or ill posture from sitting on the couch a lot. Gently come up, release that leg, and send it straight down in front of you. Let's do the other leg before I forget what we've been doing. Okay, so bend your knee, bring your foot on the opposite side or the outside of the right leg. We're going to use the right hand to pull on that knee to help turn us towards the left side. Place your left hand behind you like you're lazing at a beach, but remember to keep these shoulders down. You tuck the hips under, suck the belly in, push on this knee to help twist you. As you've been helped a little bit with the hand, release it, lengthen it up towards the ceiling, and bring it even further over, getting your arm to push against your leg so that you can twist even more. Remember, you want to keep sucking your belly. The more you suck it back, the more twist you're able to get. Gently release. Bring this foot back to the inside of the leg, bringing it right up towards your bum if you're able. Remember, this knee is a pillar, so it's not opening up to the side so that we can get our body through. We want to keep this knee exactly where it is, bring our body through using our elbow to push against that knee and grab your right foot. Then you can take this hand, keeping this leg holding tight in towards your shoulder, and grab both hands onto your feet. Remember, sternum being pulled towards ankle. Try and take yourself a little deeper. Gently release. This knee is already right up here by your bosom. Lift your knee and bring your ankle across to your right shoulder. Get it into the crick of your arm and rock your leg like a baby. Remember to keep coming back to your breath, your awareness of your breath. Particularly pay attention to when you feel a bit of tightness, because sometimes we tend to hold our breath when we're getting into a deeper stretch. And that's exactly when you want to try and remember to breathe even more. That leg, bring your ankle and your knee back in alignment, and now we're bringing our left arm on the inside of the leg. Wrap your hand round so that it's now grabbing the outside of your left foot, and now we're bringing that knee up towards our shoulder. It's okay if you're not sitting exactly on the shoulder. If it slips down here, you're okay, and we're still going to end up getting into the QL muscles. And lean forward. Keep lifting in the tummy. Gently come up and release that leg. Bring both your feet together, so we're in our Baddha Konasana position. Squeeze your bum cheeks to get your knees down towards the floor, pushing your feet in together. We're interlacing our fingers around our toes and bringing our chest towards our feet. So again, sternum towards feet. Try and pull yourself a little bit deeper. gently release. We're going to keep our left leg in that butterfly position, but we're going to move it a little bit further in, so it's almost under the right leg. The right leg we're placing sort of mid-shin kind of space. From here, we're leaning back. We want our hand quite close, and it's going to be right under the shoulder blade. And we're going to be pushing up onto the shin, pushing our hips forward and lifting our arm up and over. So you're feeling a stretch up the side and a stretch into the hip flexors. Okay, so let's begin. Push forward, taking your hand up and over. Squeeze this left bum cheek to help push the hips forward. Push and lengthen the arms so that you're feeling a side stretch happening. Drop your bum back down. You swap legs so that we can now do the other side. Place your hand close to your bum so that you're stacked as you push up onto your right knee. Up we go. Lifting, making sure we're squeezing the right bum now to push the hips forward. And the left arm stretches away, getting a side stretch. Come down and swapped it back to your first side. Place your hand close to your bum again, lift up and over. This time the right foot goes to touch the left foot, the knee is off the floor and it's not hanging but actively open, so you're squeezing both bum cheeks and leaning that arm far away from you, stretching. And down we come. And we swap legs. Hand is close to bum so that our shoulder, elbows and wrists are stacked. Push up, pushing in the right bum cheek so that the hips are leaning forward. Then the left leg foot is now coming to reach the right foot. Lean forward, push both bum cheeks forward. Squeezing. And come back onto your bum. We come back into our Baddha Konasana position, this time with our feet further away from us, so we're creating a larger diamond position. You're tucking your hips under, lifting in the belly, you're leaning forward, but this time we're massaging the arches of our feet. So you're just using your thumb to squeeze and push. Squeeze and push, while still leaning in towards your feet. We often forget to actually pay attention to our feet. We're standing on them all day and exercising with them when we exercise, but we don't take the time to actually rub and release the muscles that are sitting all tight and tense in the feet. So we did those foot stretches right at the beginning. Now we're just rubbing out the feet, releasing tension. If you remember, I'm sure everybody is aware of reflexology and how all the little points in your feet actually relate to other body parts and body organs. So it's a great practice to sit and massage your feet at home, in front of the TV. If you've got a golf ball, oh my goodness, that's quite spectacular. You take a golf ball, you pop it on the floor, and you just rub up and down. I often lean on my knee and rub up and down with the golf ball into my feet. It's quite glorious. Try and allow your stretch to go a little bit deeper as you rub your feet. You can even rub the tops of your feet, so in between all the little tendons and whatnot, and try and go a little bit deep into the stretch. Remember, keep your tummy lifted. And now interlace your fingers and try and pull your sternum towards your feet even more. pulling a little bit deeper. And very slowly start to come back up again. Close your knees together, bring them closer towards your bum. Place your hands behind you with your fingers facing forward. We're pushing our feet into the ground, activating these legs, tucking the hips under as we lift up into a tabletop position. Drop your bum down and back up again. Down and back up again. Down and back up again. Now lift your left leg. Drop your bum down and push back up again. Down and push back up again. Down and push back up again. Place the left leg down, lift the right, drop down and push back up again. Squeeze the bum. Down and back up again. Down and back up again. Place both feet firmly on the ground, pushing further up into your tabletop position. And slowly drop your bum to the floor. And take a moment, pulling your knees close as you can into your chest and grabbing them closer with your arms. Feel your spine lengthening up, belly sucking in. You're squeezing your body towards your knees. And gently release. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of our back rolling. So remember, we want to tuck the hips under, make the lower back feel like it's rounding. We're taking our hands onto our knees, which can push into our hands a little bit to create more of that rounded feeling. You keep this roundness as best you can as you roll backwards and roll back up. Roll backwards and roll back up. Roll backwards, roll back up. Back and up. Back and up. Back and up. And on the next roll, we're going to try and roll up into our standing position. If you struggle with that, not the end of the world, you just come and stand. Okay, so we roll back and up and stand. Arms are being pulled long towards the ceiling. Belly's lifted, bum squeezing, knees turning slightly outwards. And you swan dive down towards the floor, hanging in your forward fold position. Keep sucking your belly up. Bend your knees and place your hands on the floor. I'm going to send our right leg back behind us so that we're in a lunge position. Make sure that your right bum muscle is squeezing. You're pushing down in this front leg, so it's an active leg. Drop the knee down to the floor. And we're going to push the left knee away from us. We're opening the leg and trying to drop our body down towards the floor. If you can get onto your elbows, you're grand. If you can't, you just keep slightly up, elbows bent, trying to get deeper into a stretch. Remember to keep that right bum muscle active. Straighten the back leg and drop back down. Straighten the back leg. This gets us deeper into our hip flexors, and drop back down. Straighten the back leg. Hold it a little bit longer, and drop back down. Come back up onto your hands. I'm going to take our left hand, twisting towards that left leg, and you're going to try and grab your opposite foot. Keep dropping your hips forward. Again, deeper hip flexor stretch. Your left knee is still dropping outwards, it's not back in line with the foot. Gently release that back leg. Bring your hands back on either side of the foot. Push down in your arms, lift the back leg, and go into your plank position. Lift your bum up into your downward facing dog. Take a step forward if you need to. Push away with your hands so that your shoulders are nicely lifted. Suck the belly back. Take your right leg, bend it, and make sure it's in line with your other knee. And now we're going to push it up higher, and then come forward, bringing that right knee to right elbow. Push it back up, keeping it bent, and then right knee to left elbow. Keep lifted in the armpits. Send that leg bent but backwards. Come forward, right knee to right elbow. Up, behind you, keeping it bent, right knee to left elbow. Come back, place your foot down into your downward facing dog. Come into your plank, squeeze these bum muscles. Readjust your feet if you need to. I'm a long person. And slowly chaturanga down. And push up into your cobra, keeping your chin tucked until you're lifted. Feel your sternum being pulled forward. Squeeze these bums, don't let them chill there, squeeze the bum cheeks. And slowly come up onto your feet and rest in child's pose for a moment. Drag your nose along the floor, coming back into your cobra position. Tuck your toes and feel like your pelvis is being lifted up into your downward facing dog. Take a step forward if you need to. Push away with these arms, integrating the shoulders into their sockets. And our left leg, bent, comes up towards the right knee. Then we lift it further and bring left knee to left elbow. And back up, behind us, left knee to right elbow. Up behind us, left knee to left elbow. Up behind us, left knee to right elbow. Back into your downward facing dog. And walk out the dog, stretching your calf muscles. We bring our right leg through our hands. So now we're in a lunge with the opposite leg. Make sure you're using this bum muscle, the left bum muscle, active, pushing down in the front leg. Slowly drop the back knee towards the floor. I'm just shimmying a little bit further back on my mat. And let the right knee open up to the side. Now we're coming down, or trying to come down onto our elbows. And remember to breathe. Straighten the back leg. And back down. Straighten the back leg. And back down. Straighten the back leg. Hold it a little longer. And drop back down. Gently push back up onto your hands. With our right hand, we're twisting towards that right leg and trying to grab our left foot. That right knee is still opening up to the side. Release that back foot. Bring your knee into alignment with your foot. Place both hands on the floor. Lift that back leg and bring your left foot in to meet your right foot and hang in forward fold. Grab your elbows and just hang forward, sucking your belly back up. Place your hands back on the floor and step your left leg back, but not too far this time, as we're actually going to be leaning on our left knee. So we're trying to create a bit of a 90-degree situation here. If your knees get a bit sore, double up your mat or grab a cushion to pop under your knee, because this is quite a deep hip flexor stretch that can bother the knee a little bit because it's pushing down onto the floor. Okay, so our aim is to tuck the hips under, push the hips forward, and then we grab this back foot and we're trying to bring it in towards our bum, but we're keeping the hips pushing forward. You don't want to open up or arch backwards and then, yay, my foot's touching my bum. You're not getting the stretch. You need to tuck the hips under, push them forward, and then pull that foot towards your bum. So we're aiming for a hip quad stretch. If you find it too uncomfortable in the knee, let the foot drop further back down, leaning a little bit backwards, and just pay attention to your knee. Don't let it hurt or get discomfort. Gently release. Swap legs. Remember, we're tucking the hips under, lifting in the belly, grabbing our ankle and pulling it towards the bum cheek, pushing the hips forward. And release that foot, drop down onto your bum, and guess what? It's time for relaxation. Well done, guys. If you derobed, you can pop your clothes back on, get blankies, get cushions, whatever will make you feel extra comfortable. can sit or lie down. And we start with taking a deep, deep, deep breath in and out. Deep, deep, deep breath in and out. Deep, deep, deep breath in and out. Allow your breathing to return to its natural, steady rhythm. And we're continuing with our solar plexus theme, with the color yellow, with the feeling of creativity. Imagine your body growing very heavy and sinking just a little way into the earth, into the ground, the dirt. Just as if you're partially submerged. Imagine this warm yellow flame sitting just in your belly, and its energy starts growing stronger and stronger with each breath. And start imagining like yellow spinning hula hoops spinning around your flame. Just one hula hoop initially, and then a second hula hoop starts to form going in the opposite direction, and then a third one adds to this dance of spinning hula hoops of bright yellow creative light. The stronger this energy gets, the larger these hula hoops become. Initially, they're encased in your body, but as they grow, they start spinning and expanding outside of your body, into your auric field, to 1 meter away from you, 2 meters away from you, 3 meters away from you. This beautiful, creative yellow light spinning, looping, creating a dance around your being. Energy keeps pulling in more and more creativity, more opportunity, more fun and excitement into you, into your aura, into your energy. into your body. Just allow yourself to feel the excitement and the fun and the beauty, this energy swirling around you. Energy starts to grow smaller again, moving from its 3 meters away, 2 meters away, 1 meter away, into your aura, back inside your body, pulling inwards back into a little nugget of brilliant yellow light, energy, fun, excitement. And feel yourself imagining that nugget of inspiration being held in your hands. Now allow yourself to ask, what can you create? What are you here especially to add to the creative force? How can you tap into more creativity in your life and create more fun in your world? And just sit in peace, holding this beautiful, exquisite stone, and allow answers to come into your mind, into your being. Keep sitting with your stone of inspiration. Just allow information to flow to you. take that stone of inspiration and tuck it back into your solar plexus area for safekeeping. Placing both your hands over your solar plexus. Just hold them there for a moment. Allow yourself to breathe into your solar plexus. Deep inhales. Steady exhales. Take one last deep as you can get that inhale. And exhale, starting to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Stretch out your body one last time. Pull your knees up into your chest, spreading your arms out to the side. Allow the knees to drop down towards the left. Giving you just a gentle spinal twist. And twist over to the right. Bringing your knees back into your chest. And slowly roll up into a seated position. And if you would like to join me for an you can have your hands on your knees or into your heart center. We take a deep breath in. Thank you, everybody.